I live in Clarkson, Georgia. And Clarkson, Georgia is like one of the epicenters for refugee population the United States takes in. In fact, the New York Times has said that my little town just outside of Atlanta, Georgia, is the most diverse square mile in America. And that's like the New York Times saying that. So it's not like something I made up. Here's how it works. The UN High Command on Refugees identifies a problem around the world with people being shunning from one country to the other or being put in camps. And then UN High Command asks member nations to take in refugees. This makes me patriotic for America. I mean, I have been in the streets and I've been tear gassed about the Vietnam War and other things, but I'm very proud of us that we take in people from all over the world. And then the resettlement agencies have figured out that Clarkson, Georgia is a great place to send them because there's so many cheap apartments there, there's good mass transit. So it puts a burden on our town, but it's also a great opportunity. And there's a great soccer team there, a little soccer made up of refugees called the Fugees. And I've been tutoring them, after school tutoring, because their coach will not let them play unless they tutor. So this is called Tutoring Mohammed Mohammed. Great workout. And after a few Tuesday sessions, I'm finding out that his most important questions come when the textbook is closed. He wants to know about life in America. Like, did Bill Gates really drop out of Harvard? I say, yes, I think he did. And he wants to know what exactly Hare Krishnas do. I say, I really can't help you on that one. And then, on one moment, he wants to know if it's true that Lil Wayne is in jail. This forces me to tell Mohammed Mohammed, this is about 18 months ago, right? And this forces me to tell Mohammed Mohammed that yes, Lil Wayne is in Rikers. Which of course brings his very next question, what is Rikers? And it's somewhere during my long description of that ancient island prison, how it's out in the East River, surrounded by New York City, but somehow apart from New York City. This thing is when the head tutor woman is right in our back wanting to know, what am I talking to him with the book closed? What are we talking about? And even though I try and give Mohammed the shut-up eye, I give him the exam the Elaine way, the boy smiles and says, Mr. Rupert's telling me about Rikers. Little Wayne's on Rikers, which I think is kind of cool language-wise because it shows he understands that Rikers is an island. The head tutor woman, though, doesn't think it's cool at all. Quit talking about Lil Wayne and open the textbook, she says. And okay. We open the psychology book that dulls the boy's eyes like silver polish left on far too long. And as I'm flipping to a chapter review, he sticks his hand out, wham, a human bookmark. He says he showed this picture to his mother last night, his mother who speaks no English, and she loved this picture too. It's that famous photograph of Konrad Lorenz, the German behaviorist. He's swimming in a lake with a line of 6 ducklings right behind him, imprinting. These newly hatched baby ducks, they think Konrad Lorenz is their mother. They won't let him out of their sight. This is the argument for nurture in nature versus nurture. Is that man still alive? Mohammed asked this question with a level of interest I had not yet seen from him on any of our Tuesday sessions. And in that moment, it no longer matters how disparate our worlds are. Our dreams are common. We both want to be the man in the picture, the man with the duck swimming behind him. We both want small animals to love us hard, unconditionally. And even though I've been told, don't do this, I do it. I open my laptop. Let's Google him and see. I say, yes, Mohammed says, Google. We find out he died in 1989. But poor Konrad Lorenz, what a life he led. He was a doctor, drafted by the Nazis in World War II, then captured and held for 6 years in Siberia by the Russians. Why did the Russians capture him, Mohammed asked. Why the Russians? The boy, it turns out, does not even know who was on whose side during World War II, so we have to discuss this. How the Russian winners stopped the Germans, and how the swimming man with little ducks, how he must have suffered in those cruel Siberian prisons. Like Rikers, Mohammed asked? I said, yes, like Rikers. Hitler, the boy repeats after I say the name. Hitler. Hitler had the crazy hair and he stuck his tongue out, didn't he? I said, no, that was Einstein. Einstein had the crazy hair and stuck his tongue. had the mustache. But Einstein was afraid of Hitler, so he escaped to America and taught at Princeton during the war. The boy tries to take this all in. And I see it could go on forever. Eisenhower, the 50s, the Cold War, hula hoops, civil rights, Dr. King, Elvis, the Enfield fly rule. But Einstein made the bomb, Mohammed asked. I said, well, I think it was with this guy, Robert Oppenheimer. I spelled the name as Mohammed taps the keys. But then he's hitting Google Images faster than I ever thought possible. And this brings up a schematic diagram. Lines, numbers, colorful equations filling the screen with a picture of a centrifuge. And this is when the head tutor woman is again at our back, her voice now almost hysterical. What are you searching for? What is this? What are you showing him? And then she's acting like I've done a really bad thing. Like it's some kind of really huge deal. That I'm showing Mohammed Mohammed detailed instructions for building a nuclear weapon. So picky. She has to learn things, right? People get so upset over nothing. And this, as it turns out, is the last I ever see of the boy. It is, in fact, my last afternoon in my short history as a tutor. And actually, the Department of Homeland Security has been pretty understanding about the whole incident. My public defender turned out to be kind of hot. She pared me down to a lesser charge, and really, I have an okay cell here on Rikers. Little Wayne and I do squat presses twice a week. Sometimes the guards have me up with me. They said they even want me to start tutoring other prisoners, but I'm thinking, that may not be such a great idea.